What's up, Baku gamers? It's Queso, aka the Magnus YouTube, aka Bad Boy, aka Really Need of a Haircut 56. Now, we're gonna talk about, since we're pretty much knee deep into Armored Alliance, well, and Fusion Force is on the horizon, so to speak. If everything is scheduled and distributed on time, but let's talk about some of the Bakugan that are coming out right now or in the near future that you should consider getting your hand on. Now, how are we going to organize such an immense list of about like 15 Bakugan? Well, we're going to do it by faction. Good old reliable. So we're going to start with Darkus, because it's my channel and I can start with Darkus if I please. Darkus Auxillotaur Core. It is a 100 B Bakugan, but the thing is, it has 10 damage. It comes with 2 green fists, which is unfortunate, but it was the necessary, I guess, balancing that it required, because if it had a fire fist, that's 16 damage base form, essentially. So the highest it can get naturally with using its own cores is 13, which is still bigger than, it meets Fury requirements, like 13, 12. Back in the day, Aquos Cubo could match Fury numbers, which it had base 5, and on a Fire Fist it hit 11, which was the bare minimum. So even then you could catch up to it. So 13 is still a ridiculous amount of damage for those Might Mac Dark Rage combos, okay? You can still use a Fire Fist with this guy, and the reason that this is worth mentioning over, say, Pyrus Trox, which is the same thing but just brandishing red paint, is usually in Fury decks, you want to use a Bakugan that has some sort of Fury enabler. That can include Pyrus Vicerock's Core, which gains 800 when in Fury, giving it a natural 1600 B power if you match the certain requirements, or Hyper Serpentes, which its Evo hits 1500 B power, minus like whatever core bonus you give him, and 12 damage. So that's why you usually want to use Fury Bakugan in your Pyrus slot, and that's why this Darkus Bakugan with the same stats as Pyrus Trox is worth mentioning. Ramparian Ultra is the next Darkus Bakugan to hit this list, because it is the power creep boy that Darkus has been wanting, has been needing. Unfortunately, it does not replace the better card pool that it so desperately needs, but hey, at least we have a Haos Trox Ultra, but for Darkus now. We have naturally 800 B power with a magic shield and a shield, so that's pretty much just replacing, what's his name, Enoch, who he just came out and he's already replaced. Like, the unfortunate woes of Enoch, the dastardly tales of a man who power creeped before his time. We're gonna keep going through, because that power creep boy is self-explanatory. He's big. Worth mentioning because he's big. He hits big numbers, that's it. That's all you need to know. Sarris Ultra is where I'm gonna get a little pushback, but I thought he was worth mentioning because he comes with 2 magic shields, which can be used for a Bakugan that doesn't necessarily have a magic shield, has like a big number, B power wise, but doesn't have a magic shield, and maybe comes with like a Fire Fist or a Fist, but like would really benefit from that. There are no Bakugan currently that would go with Sarris Ultra to where it would be worth mentioning now, but I think it is something to keep your eye on, because it's 400, which if it uses its own magic shield, it's not worth a drip in the pot. It's not worth anything on its own. But it still has 5 damage, which, as I told you with Aquos Cubo, is the bare minimum damage requirement for meeting Might Mac requirements, right? So you could possibly team it up with a team that allows that to go, the Sarris to go for the Might Mac, and it still gives you the 2 magic shields you can use to diversify whether you go for those plays or just the raw B power, depending on the other 2 Bakugan in your lineup. So it would be more of a utility Bakugan, but since it hits that 5 damage threshold, it's not a waste of space. Like, it's the same reason we used Pyravian for like a month, is because it came with those 2 magic shields. but unfortunately its stats are just way worse than Sarris Ultra. So that's the only reason I feel that Sarris is worth at least mentioning, is that 5 damage. It kind of makes, it evens it out. Because 1050 is not getting you anywhere, especially with Aquos stepping up their game. Let's move on to Aurelus. This is going to be the first of 2 Bakugan that are notable pretty much strictly for their cores and possible evos. Well, the other one is known for its evo, but this one is Aurelus, Pegatrix core. It has 702, which is power creep boy minimum, so that's going to be hitting 1350 because it brandishes a magic shield and helix. So not only does it have its own core to boost itself up to those 1350 numbers, but it also carries another very good core to allow your other Bakugan to use to boost themselves up, similar to how, you know, Sarris was, but at least this one does not lack by any means. This one is good on his own. And this is not to mention its blank slate. It has no effect so far. That's what I want to bring up in this section, is the epic, you know, they call it epic, but I'm going to call it true effect because I'm not a cretin. So we still have a possibility that could have a true effect in the upcoming packs as the 11th card that gives you a bonus effect for that Bakugan. So if it does get an effect and it hits that 1350 and has the extra core to give your other Bakugan, that would be amazing. So take all these Bakugan with a grain of salt, because Sarris could even have a true effect. It could be even better than it is. It could just out of nowhere have, like, if you land on a magic shield plus 300 and then all of a sudden it's 1450. Or no, it would be 1350. It'd be hitting normal. It'd be hitting power creep. But see, like, it could be as easy as that. Like, just giving these Bakugan a true character effect, and all of a sudden they go from average to crazy, or even good to crazy. The second Bakugan in the Aurelus faction is going to be Milius Ultra. It is 601 with a magic shield and a fist, so it hits 1250, which is, it's tolerable, but it's better than most. But the reason you want to run Aurelus Nillious Ultra is because of its evo. Now, its evo is where it shines. So with its evo, you pay 3 and it's 800 B power with 4 damage, but here's the kicker, this is where it starts getting good. You get 707 when you have a Baku gear attached to him. And that could be any of them. I mean, we know how ridiculously cheap some of these Baku gears can be because you can land on those gear reduction cores. So you're paying for Glimmering Glaive at 2, you're paying for Tempest Generator at 0, there's a multitude of things you can do, and he has that magic shield, don't forget. So when adding those numbers up, you have 1450 if you count just his base beat power and the magic shield, and then plus whatever bonus you get from the gear, that could be as small as 101, and then on top of that, the 707 you get. So that is 2250 at least, if I'm doing my math right. Yeah, 2250 if you equip it with Tempest Generator or something like that. Not to mention the bigger Baku gears that you can equip to this thing. For 3 costs, you get an immense amount of value. It comes with a good core. 1250 is nothing necessarily to sneeze at. It's not winning any bouts with Hydorous or Hydronoid, but it does have a pretty good evo that you can combo and make a deck for. You know, this video was supposed to come out maybe like 2 weeks ago. That was what was supposed to happen. And just the other day, I was gonna mention Hydorous core, Aquos. And that was going to be a fairly simple, you've heard of it already, it hits 1506 on a helix, a plus 600 minus 3 helix, and it's the biggest power creep we've had so far. It beats Hydronoid, which was the previous predecessor to it, with 1450, and that would have been the end of it. You have access to all the Aquos card pool while having an insanely good early on Bakugan. That would have been it. They have nothing else really, besides maybe like some stuff for Aquos, like mono Aquos, like Aquos Centipod, because we don't know his Evo or even true character effect, but just like Aurelus Nillious, he hits 1250 and he has a magic shield. So if he gets a true character card effect or a good Evo, Centipod has potential. That would have been it. Hydorous, Centipod, that's it. Aquos, skipped. Moving on. We get it. But now that Hydorous is coming, you have to pick up an Aquos Hydorous core because 4 cost for 27 and 13 is ridiculous. I'm just sectioning off this video. Take note of it. This is the main message of this video. Buy Hydorous core. Aquos Hydorous core. Make sure you get one, or else you'll be left in the dust. Haos. I mentioned him already before in this video. Haos Trox Ultra. He's just the big Haos guy. You get access to the Haos card pool, and he's 1450, leading that early charge. That's pretty much it, self-explanatory. We could talk about his Evo, but realistically, he's too big unless you have a gimmick deck that cheeses out big Evos, but other than that, you mainly just use him for his raw strength early game. Nillious core is coming out as well. It is a Fire Fist and Fist for 601, but with the Fire Fist, you get +5. Now, Fury running alongside with Haos is something that's been kind of in the works for a while. It's something that's been teasing us here and there, because we would have access to Pyro Bladerator, we would have access to Glimmering Glaive, we would have access to that new 1-cost reroll, Cubbo Clones, that ups damage as well. So Haos Fury has been something that's been just kind of poking at us, prodding at us, something that is a possibility that we never really considered, but now with something with such a big damage boost as Nillious, with essentially a base 6 damage if you land on a Fire Fist, so it hits 12 damage on a Fire Fist, I think it's something worth considering. And then also 600 B power is not too shabby. You can land on, ooh, say Sarris. Whoa, you can land on it with Sarris. See, I told you it was coming in handy. Now we just need that magical third Pyrus Bakugan that all ties it together. But no, if you were thinking about Haos Fury in the future, that would be a Bakugan to get your mitts on. Following the Haos train of a 600 Bakugan with a Fire Fist, we have Cimoga coming out, which is naturally 603 with a Helix and a Fire Fist. So 2 good cores that it packs, which makes it automatically decent. A lot of these are just going to be, hey, this is a Bakugan that has access to this faction that has 2 good cores or 1 good core with a decent B stat lineup. Go grab it. It has potential. And if it gets a true character card or an Evo, it's going to be great. So a lot of these are going to be that. Not a lot of them have Evos out or anything that's worth like, oh, whoa, ah, you know, like, so I'm going to take note from now on saying this is, I'm just going to say it has potential. There you go. Potential. When I say the word potential, just know I mean it has a good core or 2, good stats. Get it. Fair? Fair? Can we move on? Excellent. Because I don't want to sound like a broken record, even though I'm literally setting up the stage to say potential like 15 times in the same video. We're moving on to Pyrus. So Pyrus Core Drago. We're basically going to talk, this is the tale of 2 Dragos. Basically get the 2 Pyrus Dragos. Pyrus Drago Core, because it hits like 13. It's the same numbers as Auxillotaur. And why would you run that instead of Pyrus Trox when you can just land on a Fire Fist and have 16? Because I talk crap about Pyrus Trox publicly, and I don't want to look like a fool. So we're going to say, for the sake of this video, Pyrus Trox sucks. Dragonoid Ultra, Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra, 902 with a shield, ugh, so close to being amazing, and a Fire Fist. This is one of those things, oh, potential, you know. It has the highest base B power in the game. You can use other Bakugan's cores to get him up to 1550, which is ridiculous. It beats the crap out of Hydorous. The only thing keeping it back is the fact that it has a native shield instead of literally anything else. So Dragonoid Ultra is good if you have a Bakugan that doesn't mind sharing with its neighbors. And also, I don't know, 1300 is not too far off par anyway. So it's good regardless. Ventus. We're topping it off with Ventus. We're ending with Ventus. Milius Ultra. It has a magic shield and a fist. Surprise, it has a magic shield, so that makes it good. We have 801. Again, following the trend that Ventus is foreign to damage, and Pyrus and Darkus just have too much of it to go around. Potential. There you go. It hits 1450 for Ventus. Big numbers. Good core. Ryerazu core. This is the one that a lot of people are talking about because on a Helix, and Helixes are going to be good this format coming up, so you better have your Constrictors and your Dazzles and your Deep Freezes, or else you will die. You will die. Ryerazu has no damage. You have 1600 B power, base form. If you land on a 600 -3 Helix, sure, but you're punching with nothing. You have 0 damage. You're basically just using him to win battles and carry on to your team attack as fast as possible. That's the reason you use Ryerazu. It's just big numbers. It's hard to get over for just no investment whatsoever. Ryerazu, I'm not going to say potential because that's literally what Ryerazu is. It doesn't need anything else. Don't give it anything else. Drago is the thing we're stopping it on. This is the last Bakugan to consider coming into the recent formats until further notice. I will definitely notify you when more Bakugan get revealed that are worth anything. I'm not gonna go over a bunch of small fry. That's not worth my time, it's not worth yours. I want you, when you click a Magnus YouTube video, you're coming out learning something, okay buddy? Okay? And what you need to learn is Ventus Dragonoid core. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. It comes with 602 with a Helix and a magic shield, and its Evo comes out for free as long as you roll him last because he has a trifecta effect where as long as your Bakugan have 3 cores total among them, you get to play his Evo for free, which is 1200, and it hits up to 1850 naturally on his shield. So essentially, if you draw 3 out of 40 cards possible, he is a base 1850, essentially. So that's what makes him good, besides he has the core to spare, which could possibly make your team more versatile overall. That was a decent chunk of Bakugan coming out in the near future. Let me know if I missed any. I am only human, after all, even though I'm mostly right. And don't forget to spend your money on Aquos Hydorous. And with that, like, subscribe, have a great day. I'll see you at Anime Expo, or not, I don't know. Bye. Goodbye. Subscribe though.